welcome to my guide on how to get infinite Z-38 chips. So the way this works is that there's an exploit in the game where the programmers did not program the same amount of inventory space or like the amount of items you can hold at one time is not the same between your inventory and this outside world. And what I mean by that is that when you're in your inventory, you can store a number that's up to 2 to the power of 32, which is about 4.3 billion. However, for some reason this number is signed, which essentially means that instead of having a number that can be between 0 and 4.3 billion, and again that number is an estimate, there's a bunch of more digits after that, it said you can store negative 2.1 billion-ish to about positive 2.1 billion-ish. So because of that, and the fact that in this outside world here you can stack items, so let's give this an example. That dropped, this coin dropped as a single stack. As you can see, you can pick up 119 of it. However, this number here at the bottom or in the middle, that it's not stored as 2 to the power of 32, it's stored as 2 to the power of 16, and it's also signed. So if I drop anything that's above 32,768, what ends up happening is that it becomes a negative number because everything's signed. So if I drop a number that's over that, and it really doesn't matter how much it is, because all you want is a negative number, so you have to drop between that the amount I just said, 32,768, to about 75,536, because that's the range of negative numbers, and assign 2 to the power of 16. So if I drop this amount, and hopefully it won't fall through the floor, okay, as you can see, it becomes a negative number. So what ends up happening is that for some reason the programmers of this game didn't realize that at some point the player might be able to pick up an object that has a negative number. So what ends up happening is that I actually have negative 31,000, whatever that number was, in my inventory, but it doesn't show up for like the same reason why an item that you have 0 of doesn't show up in your inventory. So because of that, we now have a negative number. However, for some reason, again, the programmers didn't really didn't think that this would ever happen. So what ends up happening is that you can pick up anything from this from the Sierra Madre, what do you call it, the vending machine, for like the maximum amount you can just get for free. So let's take a look for stim packs. Oh, you can, as you can see, you can pick up quite a lot of stim packs. Now some of you may be wondering what number this corresponds to. This number corresponds to the 2 to the power of 24 minus 1, because in digital 0 is the first state. So yeah, in particular you guys say like, oh well, the first state is 1. Well, in digital the first state is 0. So because of that, I can now get this amount of stim packs for absolutely free. So let's take a look. Yep, added completely for free. And the best part is that it doesn't do anything with the chips you have here. So I don't know exactly what like programming mistakes they did to make this possible. My only guess is the fact that they never anticipated that people could do a glitch like this, and then they never bothered fixing anything like this. There is a way to deactivate this glitch, and that's if you get any amount of Sierra Madre chips, then what ends up happening is that I guess a script activates and checks to see if you have a negative number or something like that, and it clears it to 0. So you'll lose all your negative numbers of whatever item you're storing. So you can get any of these numbers, anything in here, infinitely. The one thing to note is that you're definitely going to want to pick up packs of cigarettes. Where are they? Right here. Because let's say, for example, if for any reason you accidentally pick up a Z-38 chip or whatever, you can return packs of cigarettes to get a whole lot back. And because you picked up 16.8 million for free, you can get a whole lot of Z-38 chips back, and that's how you can reactivate it. So yeah, you can get pretty much any of this infinitely. Although one thing to note is, like I said earlier, you can store any item up to about 2.1 billion. After that, it'll start becoming a negative number, and so it'll disappear from your inventory. But obviously 16.8 million is a lot smaller than 2.1 billion, so you can stack up on stim packs quite a lot. before it starts to matter. So let's see how many. I'm not even gonna get close. I'm not gonna get close at all during this whole little thing. So now the next question is, how exactly do you get over 32,000 Seadra Magic clips? Well, there's a few ways to get Seadra Magic clips. For one, when you're at the casino, you can gamble, and that will give you about 10k of Seadra Magic chips. And then you also got complimentary vouchers in here, which will in this drop box here. I've already picked them up. So every 3 days, a complimentary voucher will spawn, which you can redeem for 1,000 chips. And also, you'll also get 300 chips too, and that's just free. So you can use that to save up. There's one other way, and that's that if you got the perk from Christine called Coin Operator, which you can which I have a guide on doing. I think it's the second part of my new ultimate guide to dead money. You can scrap fusion batteries and scrap metal to get chips. So let's see now. When I think I have it ready. Yep. So 1 fusion battery and 2 scrap metals for 50 Seadra Magic chips. The one way I've also heard of getting it to be super quick is if you have Old World Blues. There is something that you can run yourself into. I'll probably put this in the descriptions. Or there's something you can go to that will knock you out for about 12 hours, but it's way quicker than just like waiting there. So you can switch off from hardcore mode if you're on there. Quickly just go in there a bunch of times, for like 10 times or something like that, and you'll skip a whole bunch of days, well, more than 10 times. And then what will happen is if you skip something like a few weeks, then eventually a whole bunch of complimentary vouchers will spawn in here, as well as free chips, which you can redeem, and that'll help you get there faster. Like I said, this is just doing that is just a way to waste time faster, so that way you can get complimentary vouchers. And before I actually did craft that, so just to prove a point, as you can see here, I don't have the negative number anymore. So yeah, that's just about it. One thing to note is that if you do leave a comment saying, oh well, why don't you just do player.add-item, I will downvote anything you put regarding using console commands, because that's not the point of this. Yeah, I can use console commands for everything, but it's really just, this whole video is just about exploiting a very serious flaw that no one really considered. Well, when people were programming this game, really didn't consider. So that's just about it. Enjoy having unlimited amounts of all this.